Welcome to In The Hive, real talk about real relationships, brought to you by Be Busy Inc. I'm your host, Jubilee, and today's episode is one we'll all need to lead into. It's time to dive into the honey, and this time it's a little bittersweet. Let this thought buzz around in your mind for a bit. Do you truly feel safe in your relationships? Or are there warning signs you've been ignoring? And remember, whenever we talk about relationships at Be Busy, we're not just talking about romance. We're talking about family, friendships, coworkers, every connection that touches your life. Because love, respect, and safety should exist in every aspect and every space that you show up in. Today on the show, we have special guests, Guadalupe and Chris. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Guadalupe. I am a community health educator here at Be Busy. I have been working with the community for many years, and I am currently celebrating my 26th marriage. I am currently celebrating 26 years of marriage.
That's beautiful.
How y'all doing? I'm sure everybody should know me. My name is Chris. I have been with the educator side for about a year. It's going out pretty swell. And I am currently taken in a 1-year relationship.
Oh, beautiful. I love that it's kind of opposite. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the reality of relationships going wrong. Okay, it is a pretty heavy episode in the beginning. But for that reason is why it's so important to talk about, right? And one of the most important, probably, subjects that we'll address on the show. We're going to be talking a little bit about the types of abuse. And I know that you guys are very familiar with what we teach. So can you kind of go into what different types of abuse there are?
So one of the most common one that we know of is physical abuse, which involves pushing, shoving, grabbing, even like getting in your face and talking to you, like spitting in your face. I would consider that physical abuse. Anything that touches your body definitely is physical abuse.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one, also verbal emotional abuse. That's that type of, it's like non-physical contact that can either hurt someone emotionally or through any type of verbal language to kind of put that person down, to kind of make them feel insecure.
Mm-hmm. And that one kind of covers psychological, right?
Absolutely.
So like emotional, verbal, psychological.
Absolutely.
And physical, anything physical, obviously. What else is there?
There's sexual abuse, which is forcing someone to do something against their will. Even if you think about it, stealing a kiss, grabbing someone and just kissing them, that could be sexual abuse because you don't ever know if that person even wanted that, right?
Right.
Yeah. And most people really don't be thinking about this, but for sure, stalking could be one. Most people don't really take as stalking as type of abuse because it don't really hurt the person either verbally, sexually, or physical. Mm-hmm. But it can turn into abuse because that person can get uncomfortable. It can turn into like a psychological abuse because that person can be mentally traumatized from it.
Yeah, I have heard some horror stories about stalking. Like I listened to a couple other podcasts, and there's some stories where like stalking has been taken to the level, and it's like people know right in the beginning, like they are made aware of it right in the beginning, but cops are like, or authorities are like, oh, it's not that serious. He's just showing up. He's just, or she's just there, even though she's not doing anything. There's nothing physical. There's nothing emotional, but it's like there is.
So I feel like there is abuse mentally, like physically. Not physically, psychologically, because they're messing with your brain. Mm-hmm. And like they're showing up, unexpectedly. They're coming to your job. They're following you around, or they'll call you and say, "Why are you with this person?" And you're like, "What? You're watching me?" So that can cause some type of traumatic event, and I think it would definitely affect you and consider like emotional.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, no, it's very true. That's definitely a type of abuse, and I think that people should be aware of that. And what's the last one?
And there's one that I think a lot of people don't know about is financial abuse. Sometimes, I'll give you a scenario. There could be a couple and one works and one stays home, right? And that person that works controls all the money. They won't allow you to buy or expend anything for yourself. They kind of count every penny, limiting what you can spend on, what you can buy yourself. You have to let me know exactly what you're going to buy and when, and I'll let you know if you can buy it or not, things like that. So there's that controlling aspect to it. And another one is when they are not together and the withhold when they withhold child support. You know, not providing for your child is financial abuse. You're limiting your child from what they need, their basic needs. So those are forms of financial abuse as well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Like I said, this is a heavy topic, and I really do think that we should be looking at those warning signs. What advice would you give to someone who is like getting into a relationship or even in a relationship, either way, that is dealing with abuse?
I can tell you for sure. One is, first and foremost, you want to get to know the person because, you know, getting to know that person is important, you know. That's even before you even get into a relationship, before you become friends, because most abuse don't happen in relationship. It can happen on regular cordial friendships. So just for you to, you want to start by getting to know the person first before you get into any deep dive, like any type of deep dive relationship with them, whether it's friendship or cordial.
Mm-hmm. What else?
I want to say that it is really important to get to know yourself. Like even before you start a relationship, say you start a friendship, like really already have kind of a guide. What kind of friends do you want around you? What will you or will you not allow? What kind of things do you look for in a friendship, or what do you want to have in common? Are these people bringing you up? Are they bringing you down, you know? So in a love relationship, even more. You know, this is someone you're going to share your life with. So you should already have like a guide of what you're looking for even before you meet anybody. So there you can see, are they meeting my expectation? Are they, you know, up to the standard that I'm looking for? So building that healthy relationship within yourself and being clear on what you want, I think is really important.
And I say one last thing. If that person was in an abusive relationship or friendship and it's hard to get out, you know, don't be afraid to speak up, because you know, get out there, get out as fast as you can, because it's better to get out while you have the opportunity than wait till the last minute, because ain't no telling what that person might do.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, is that a lot of the times in relationships, if you're already deep into the relationship and there is abuse of any sort happening, you feel very isolated and you feel very alone and you feel like there's no one there for you. And the truth is there's plenty. There's resources. Like we work with AVDA, you know, and they in Houston at least they have so many resources. They're just like, you know, they're ready to help people and they're waiting for people to come to you. But yeah, like just know, like we know that people are never alone, and we have to also be advocates for, like, you know, we're here to help. We're here to be like, give you advice. We're here to pull you out. But a lot of times people in the relationships already feel alone and isolated and separated, and yeah, so
Absolutely,
that's
absolutely.
good. But going back to the first part of what you were saying, on this podcast, that is definitely going to be something that's reoccurring, is like, before you get into relationships, first of all, get to know yourself. That's really, really good advice, because it's just like, we sometimes jump in and we don't have our boundaries and we don't have like our set standards. And so we kind of are just like, oh, someone loves me, cool, I'll take it, you know? And then getting to know them better is like, okay, do I actually like this person? Before you even get into that like deeper relationships and it gets too serious and you do feel isolated and you do feel alone, like if you took the time at the beginning to kind of get to know them, then yeah, you might have seen the signs.
I feel that, you know, sometimes we go based on what we see growing up, and I know before it's like nobody has instructions on how to create a healthy relationship or what's right and what's wrong, what's love, you know? So we kind of go on what we see. But I think now with technology, we have so many resources aside from people and companies and organizations that are out there to help us we are always looking at our phones. We're always on TikTok or on all these types of platforms that, you know, are offering all these information. And so there's really a lot of information there to build ourselves into what we really want for our lives, and not just keep repeating the patterns that we see at home. You know, there's a different way, and there is a lot of exposure. So I think there is definitely an opportunity to build healthier relationships now in 2025.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people look at social media and they see the bad parts about it. But like, you can also take advantage of the fact that you are connected, you know? And it's just like, we have access to so much and so many people, and we forget about it because, again, we do feel people who put other people through abuse, it is about power. You know, it's not even about love or anything like that, but it's just about being in control of another person and feeling and making them feel like they're not worth it. But right here on our phones, we have like access to so many people, so many like communities that are willing and ready to accept.
There's one thing I want to say, because you touched a really, really important point. It is never your fault if you are ever in an abusive relationship. Some people might say, why don't you leave? Why are you allowing this? It is never your fault, because it's not about you, it's about that person. You said it very clear. It's about control. They're there to try to gain power within themselves. They got issues within themselves. It has nothing to do with you. So I just want anybody out there that's going through anything difficult, it's not your fault, and there is support out there. You're worthy and you're valuable, and you should be in a happy, healthy, safe relationship. I just want to share that, because I know that people can feel guilty and feel like it's their fault and maybe I deserve it. Nobody deserves it. So yeah, you do have power and you should take it back.
That's beautiful. Thank you. You're making me cry. And I do feel like people don't know that and they don't hear that. So that's true. Okay, we'll move on to the little lighter part of this. I want to play a game with you guys.
All right.
So I have these red flags, and on the other side is green flags.
Okay.
Okay, so here you go.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to read a couple of things out, and you guys can tell me whether you feel like it's a red flag or a green flag. They don't have a correct answer. You know, they kind of are your opinions. So let's see if we agree. Let's see if we don't. Okay. So is it a red flag if they say I love you after 1 week of dating?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go red.
Okay, why?
I'm gonna have to go red. I say for the simple fact is because, one, like I said, you just met me on that first week. You know, you don't really fully know me. And I'm not gonna just kind of throw it off to the side, because you know you probably love harder than I do. Okay. But you still like you only know me for such little time. It's like you all can know me for like a little bit. You don't know like what I do, or like you don't know what I have. So you know, just so it's kind of I feel like it's probably too soon.
Okay. Do you agree?
So I was going to say red, but you know what? Thinking about it, I think I'm going to go with green in this case, because what you said is, I feel like, do you believe in love at first sight? You know, sometimes you just know. And I do know people that have met and then they have actually said I love you within a few weeks and are married still. So
cute.
I feel like sometimes saying I love you doesn't mean you're tied down. You're saying I love you. Does that mean you're just open to love and you're exploring this relationship? And obviously whatever happens after that will build a relationship. So I feel like it could possibly be a green.
I'm on both your sides, but if anyone listening takes the advice that we've been talking about and actually gets to know a person, establishes a friendship, and, you know, has like at least a 3-month window, and then you start dating, and then it's a week of dating, go ahead, you know, then you've actually established a friendship and got to know people.
Right, what if you were friends?
But if you literally meet, and then 1 week later you're like, I love you, and it's just like, maybe that's lust. Maybe you have no idea who you're talking to right now, and you know it's those type of people who are still like eating chicken wings with a fork.
Or they might be loving you and other people at the same time.
Exactly.
That part. Okay, next one. Oh my God, is this a red flag? They still follow and like all of their exes' photos on social media. Okay. It's a surprise. Tell me why you think it's green.
They follow and like their pictures. They could be friends. I mean, they're just following and liking. You're just got a community. What if they are, I don't know, maybe have a podcast or they have some type of business that involves having followers, and you're not just going to knock people down, right?
Okay.
And liking a picture here and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna switch it to green. I'm gonna switch it back to green.
You convinced him.
But all right. So like she said before, they probably follow. They probably have some type of history before me. So they probably could be like a well-established friend. But, and I'm gonna put a big emphasis on the but. It depends on how far you'll take it. Liking a picture is cool. Following them is cool. But if you comment like heart eyes or like heart emojis, all right, cool. And that's where it can kind of be like a big situation. All right, now what you're doing.
Right. If you have post notifications on and you're like, oh, my ex texted or my ex posted, let me go look at it.
Yeah, it's like
definitely toxic.
hold on,
yeah, but if they split amicably,
that makes sense. That makes sense. Yes.
Okay. My first thought was red flag, but you guys, good points. Okay, is it a red flag or green flag if they don't believe in therapy?
Yeah.
Okay, why are you saying green?
Okay. Well, sometimes, like I said, some people really don't believe in therapy because people grow up different. Some people figure stuff out on their own. They have their own self healing. They have their own self way to get over things. So probably therapy is not really like their best. But I also put it could also be bad because like you may need that therapy. It may be you may come across a situation that you can't even help your own self out of. So you have to have like another perspective on things, and you won't be able to get that perspective. You won't be able to get that help unless you actually go to someone who's more professional, who's more well equipped.
Okay, and you said red flag.
I said red for me because we did talk about earlier on how getting to know yourself and knowing what you want for yourself is important. So for me, it is important that somebody be open to getting support and medical health or medical support whenever they need it. So if you were to have heart issues, right, you're going to go to the doctor to get your heart checked. If there's something going on with your thoughts, your mental health, you have to go to someone to get that support. And I know that in the past, nobody really talks about therapy as a necessity. It's like it used to be seen as like, oh, something's wrong with you. You're going to go to that.
You're crazy. You have to go to a therapist.
And it's such a necessity. I think everybody should go, just like we go and get physicals. Your brain is never being checked, and we got to check that. So I would like somebody in my life to be open to get support in every aspect.
Yeah, for sure. I would have definitely said red flag that if they don't believe in therapy, because I feel like even people who think they are mentally well, they still have stuff to process.
Absolutely.
I'm like, what if they're like that because they're in denial, or they're like that because they've disassociated their entire childhood, you know what I'm saying? And so if you're like truly like at the beginning, you're dating and you're like, oh, I don't believe in therapy. And then your partner is bringing it out of you like, well, here's why. And, they can, even if they were raised differently, they can change their mind. But if they're so closed-minded that they're just like, no, never, not for me. That's for crazy people. And, negatively speaking on it, I would be like, no, I can't have that type of friend. Like, you need to be open about that, because adding to the stigma is adding to, like, why people aren't open to therapy. You know what I'm saying?
So if you really think about it, your mind is so powerful. I mean, we see all these things that are happening in the world with people, like shooting in schools. It's a mental health, right? And if we're not approaching it, we're not taking care of it, then it's going to cause damage to others. So yes, you would want somebody to get help if they needed it. And if they're completely close to it, then you could possibly be in danger. I mean, you never know.
That's very true. Okay. What about if they cancel plans at the last minute very often, but they always apologize and reschedule? Both red? Okay. Why do you say it's red?
Things are, not everything is going to go according to plan. Things going to happen, uncircumstances going to happen. Cool, I get it. If you cancel it, it's important. It's a reason why you had to cancel it. But if there's a consistent cancellation on every day or any type of plan that we schedule, and then you just say sorry, I just feel like you're not taking like our plans or dates serious. So it's like, and like I said, I get it. It's probably like an emergency, but it's like.
But you had like 4 emergencies this week.
Yeah,
What?
like what's going on? It's like, dang, are you that unlucky? It's like, dang, what's going on? So it's like, you know, that can come off as a way like very suspicious. It's like, all right.
Okay. And you said red flag?
So yeah, I feel like, if it happens once in a while, it's understandable. But then I'm like, then what kind of relationship do we really have? Or where does our relationship stand in your list of priorities, you know? Especially if it's a romantic relationship, it's like, what's the point of being together if we're not even in each other's space, you know?
Yeah. I am the type of person who cancels plans, but it's more so because outside of circumstances. I'm not very good at planning, and I feel like, you know, in the beginning, if I'm constantly canceling plans, but then you kind of get to know my life better, and you see that I have overscheduled everything, then maybe it's not as much of a red flag, and I just need help planning things. But that's a personal.
Well, maybe for somebody that's super organized would see that as a red flag. Okay, I don't know, are we compatible?
That would not be my good match. That's for sure. Right. That would be like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, maybe you need someone who's a little bit better at that, and we could still be friends. And I'll see you in 3 months.
Maybe
we'll schedule out 3 months.
You don't cancel.
3 months in advance.
Yeah.
Oh dang, someone came up in 3 months. Let me schedule that. Oh my, I quit.
Right. Okay. What about they talk badly about their ex every time they bring them up? Red flag, green flag.
I would need more context.
Okay.
You know, I would like to know what are they saying? It depends on what they're saying as well. You know, if they're just, it's bashing them and saying they're the worst and just like never taking responsibility or saying exactly what happened, because there could be some pretty bad exes, you know? There could be things that are pretty crazy out there. So I would have to have more of a conversation. I wouldn't automatically say it's a red flag.
Okay. What do you say?
I say this. The only reason why I chose a red flag is because, you know, first and foremost, you know, y'all was in a relationship. I'm sure there was like some good times in that relationship. So not everything was bad. And so just to kind of constantly just only bring out the negatives time and time again, it just kind of goes to show it's like, it's like you didn't really have like a positive side of the relationship. And if so, and if it was bad, it was just like, I just kind of feel like you could have already kind of quit, gave it a quits instead of like bashing him or just like, just going, like just attacking him. So you could have kind of just moved on.
Yeah, this one I do agree with you guys. Red flag, you know, I don't talk bad about anyone that was in my life previously and is no longer. You know, like my friends that I don't talk to anymore, or like even people, I'm just like, there's no reason to bring that negativity forward. And if you're constantly doing it, then I'm just like, why are you so stuck on it? Are you healed from that? You know? Exactly. And if they are truly a bad person and they was a bad relationship, then it's just like, well, instead of being like, oh, my ex did this, or my ex, you know, be like, I know a person who would treat me this way and I don't want to be treated that way. You know, and I'm like, I don't have to know specifically who you're talking about. But
and like you said before, they wasn't healed. So it's like, was you that quick to get into another relationship just to kind of bash them? It's like, let's heal first. Let's heal first before we jump into another relationship.
Okay, I think we'll do like 2 more? We'll do like 2 more. Let's see. What if they are super charming, but no one in your life really likes them? Red flag, green flag.
I'll do green this time.
I think I'm gonna go with red.
Okay.
Based on experience.
Okay, tell us.
Not personal, but I mean, family-wise, I feel that you have to kind of like, that's where you give yourself more time to get to know this person. You don't rush in, like say you stay dating them, okay? Don't move in or, you know, do something drastic like that, because we all have faults. We all have ups and downs. And if this person is at all times agreeing with you at all times, everything you want, and getting you, like, what do you like? You like purple? Oh, I get you everything purple. Like, everything's just so perfect to the T, you have to kind of like, okay, what are your wants? What are your needs? Are you ever going to bring them up, or are you going to bring them up later in the relationship in an aggressive way because you're always pleasing me? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of things behind that I feel that's where you have to kind of like, okay, let me slow down and get to know this person. This person seems like everything's perfect. Let's see what we're really about.
Mm-hmm. You said green flag?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
And even just to kind of piggyback off of that, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, it's my relationship. You know, I like most people will kind of give you like some outside advice, something that you're not seeing, which is important because like once you're in a relationship, you know, you're not really seeing like the outside perspective. But it's like, you know, if I like the person, let me kind of see it, let me kind of analyze it, and then if I feel like this is really not fit for me, then I cut it off. But you know, I'm in this relationship to be in this relationship. You know, I'm dating this person to potentially marry, so. Like, if you like the person, or if you like only like just putting them down, it's not really a good thing. But at the same time, though, it's a reason why you're saying this stuff because I'm not looking at it. So you can just kind of give me the information. I'll take into consideration. You know, kind of like be more cautious of it. But at the end of the day, like I feel like I would like to have that say so myself.
Okay.
I just want to add, I do believe, yeah, it's your relationship and you do have the last word, but you do have to kind of pay attention. I mean, if it's people that want your best, the best for you, listen in a more open, like, okay, let me analyze, just taking into consideration. I'll take it to consideration, but I'm still going to be with this person, right? Is not, like, I feel it's important to listen to the people that really want the best for you, because I've seen it where people can be so fake, and the person that's in the relationship just feels so blown away that they're blinded by love. You know, they're just see this person and it's like perfect, but everybody else can see the fakeness. It's an act, you know, and so that's where, you know, sometimes you end up in a relationship that's abusive because you're so blinded that you're not seeing or listening to other people. So kind of take a step back. I would say take a step back.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And yeah, no, really good point, because that is. Sometimes people who are super charming are exactly the type of people who are like, have you ever seen that movie Enough with J-Lo?
Oh,
yeah.
He was so charming. Everybody loved him, you know? And then it turns out he had a second marriage, even though he bought her a home, you know? And he was like lying and cheating and really good movie. But yeah, like it was like,
exactly.
Yeah, he was super charming. And you know, even the people in her life were like, yeah, he's a cool guy. And I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but yeah, like, take a step back and be like, why are they showering me gifts? Why are they like showering me with gifts? Why are they love bombing me? Or are they love bombing me? Or are they like, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, but if like literally no one in my life likes the person that I'm dating, I'm gonna be like, why not? Like, this person is so great. What, but then I have to be like, there has to be a reason why no one else likes them.
Right.
Let me see.
Yeah, especially because I'll always say this, but I think very highly of myself, and so when someone doesn't like me, I'm gonna like be like, what am I doing to them? Like, maybe it's just my personality, and we're not good friends. Like, we're not supposed to be friends, whatever. But I am a friendly person, so is it my fault or their fault? You know, like, even if it's just me, even if it's just like my friend, or even like, I'm just like, why aren't we all getting along? Why aren't we vibing? But yeah, that's just me. Okay, last one. Okay, what if they flirt with other people, but say, oh, that's just my personality? I feel strongly about that one.
Yeah, I'll let you go first, Chris.
All right, I'm just joking. All right, so first,
take a big deep breath first.
Okay.
all right. I'm gonna just say this first and foremost. Anytime like you start flirting, that's just already crossing that boundary on that relationship.
Okay.
You know, Because, like, you know, people come off as a natural flirt, you know. People tell me that I come off as a natural flirt. It's not necessarily meaning that, like, hey, I'm intentionally flirting with that person. It just how my personality is, just how I always carry myself.
So you're a red flag.
So you're the red flag.
No, you know, maybe, but no, I'm just joking. But it all depends on how far you'll take that, because some people try to cross that line on, like, extreme flirting and be like, well, that's just my personality. Whereas, like, you know, because some people can just say like a compliment and just bring off that vibe, but then they won't mean it in any extreme way. Just like, you know, I'm just being courteous, I'm being nice, and some people take that as a flirting. But so it all depends, though. It all depends on how far you're gonna push that boundary.
Okay.
And even then.
So you're saying, like, if they use it as an excuse, it's a red flag.
Absolutely.
But there are people that have that personality,
Yeah.
such as yourself, right? Yeah. Okay.
You know.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, what is flirting? Because that's the thing. I'm very, like, people can be very kind. You're welcoming. You know, you're polite, and I've seen where the girl gets super jealous because they're being super kind to the waitress. And I mean, you treat people with kindness and respect, and you're friendly, right? And especially waitress is a customer service, so they're gonna be extra friendly with you, right? And then you see the girl and they're like all mad, and I'm just like, I'm like, that makes me think like, no, I don't think it's a red flag. You can tell when somebody has an intention with someone or not. You can't be too toxic where you're like, oh, don't talk to nobody, just look at me, I'll order for you, you know, things like that.
Like, I know what he wants.
I know.
Don't talk to him. I got him. But
Yeah,
no,
you gotta watch that.
I feel like I do want to touch on what he was saying, because if you are in that relationship and you come off as flirtatious, right? And the person that you're dating is like, why are you flirting with them? Then you have to be like, okay, well, I didn't mean to, and if you ever feel like that, then point it out to me, because I would never want to make you feel uncomfortable.
Facts.
You know, like, if that's the boundary that you have spoken about with each other, then I can see where it's like, and then they did it again, and they did it again, and then they were really like, oh no, I'm just you know, talking whatever, and it's just like, at some point you have to be accountable.
Yeah.
But it, like, because this is me, I'm a red flag, because I am so friendly to people. You know, like, I am always a friendly person, but if it were making my partner uncomfortable, then I would have to be conscious of like, okay, so just say hi and bye and move on, you know, instead of being like, oh, hey, how's your day going? How's your kids? You know, I don't know what flirting would be, but.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You are, you definitely have to kind of draw the line a little bit more. You got to think also, when you first meet this person probably kind of was friendly, kind to you. And that is what you liked about this person, but now it's something you're holding against that person. So that's where it's also, you have to pay attention. Do you really genuinely like this person for who they are?
True. That's a really
And
good
also,
point.
I just want to say this: it's like, you know, just talk it out with your partner too, to see like what's uncomfortable, because you don't want to like take it, because if that's like normally you, that's like literally like your natural self. You don't want to kind of like fake somebody and put yourself in an uncomfortable position just to please that person. So just like, hey, so what words am I saying that's coming off as flirtatious, so I can change that better?
I like that.
And
yeah.
so, and he'll just kind of name it. He or she will just name them and be like, all right, cool, I know what not to say, so that way I can still keep that welcome and warming personality of mine, while also respecting my partner's wishes.
But yeah, I really do love what you said, because it's like, if you like me and I am a friendly person, and then you're telling me I can't be friendly anymore because now I'm with you, I'm like, then why? That's me, like you know.
Right. So it comes down to communication, right?
Always.
Who would have known?
Yeah, always comes down to communication. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all of your input. I really appreciated it.
Thank you so much for having us. We had a lot of fun.
Absolutely, you know, thank you so much.
Okay, so now it's time to check in with yourself. Are you intentionally choosing your relationships, or just stumbling into them out of habit, loneliness, or fear? You deserve a love that's safe, steady, and secure, not one that drains your energy, dulls your light, or makes you question your worth. So choose wisely, protect your peace, and always listen to those internal alarms. Those warning signs are never random. Thank you guys for joining us today. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Be Busy Hive. And as always, be educated and always check in with the Hive.